Okay, I think we're gonna start because it's 7 p.m. And yeah, Winterclash, are you ready? Nice, welcome lovely people. This is the opening of the official Winterclash program. The panel is the first official activity. I'm very excited. Today's panel is about the future of blade events, and I have a very nice guest here, Juliane Metzker, right, from Berlin, Dominic Bruce, Ed Fariq, David, aka Dadu. I will not try to pronounce your surname, sorry. Yeah, and my name is Liene Nulle, and I've been in skating scene for 25 years, and I've traveled to many different events, but I know very little about how it is behind the scenes and how it's made, like the events. So I'm very happy to have you all here because, as I know, so far you're quite experienced. And yeah, that's true. And now I will give you a chance to tell a bit about yourselves and what is the event you organize, you stand for. Who is brave enough to start? Okay, David.
1, 2. Hello everyone, David. I'm working for a Hurricane company, which is the organizer of all the FISE event. I'm skating since '96, so a long time ago already. I'm working for FISE for now about 10 years. I started as a DJ and then doing other things. Yeah, I mean, for people who know FISE, they know what it's all about. It's an action sport festival. It started in Montpellier in the south of France back in '97. And it's now going worldwide. We have multiple dates for local, multiple dates in France, in the world. We did like US, Canada, Japan, Malaysia back in the day. Yeah, so this is the big picture. Good?
Yeah.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Ed from Malaysia. Representing Inline League Malaysia. So we've been hosting since 2023. So my background is I used to be a Malaysian representative for Asia X Game in Malaysia, Shanghai, Korea. So I'm also I have my Inline Skate Association back in Malaysia. Still until now I have like 2-3 association for inline skating. We've been running a small event before this in Malaysia. Since 2023, I'm missing my old friend during X Game, you know. We meet like Not, Soichiro, you know, like everyone. So I was planning to do a big event in Malaysia. So I'm organized the Inline League since 2023. So I invite all the friends, and it's like a Asian X Game gathering, like everyone come. And then after that, the turnout is good. You know, like from Thailand, like 30 participants, from Korea, like 15. And then total, we got like 200 participants. So I'm continue doing last year, 2024. For 2024, 2023, we only planning for Asia, but 2024, we try to bring more people from Australia, from Spain, you know, like Mary coming, CJ Wilsmore, Joe Atkinson, and some other.
Okay, it seems like blading is big in Asia, and you want to make it even bigger.
Yeah, we hope so. This year we have more participants from all over the world.
Great, great. Julia, you wanna continue?
Yeah, my name is Juliane, and I'm actually skating, I think, since 4 years. So I'm relatively new to the sports.
Welcome.
Yeah, I started at 32, so I know it's never too late to start skating or blading. So yeah, and I also present here a relatively new event, which is Return Berlin. We are like concentrating on wizard style skating. We happened last year for the first time in the end of May, will happen this year again. And yeah, for us, like it's not like only an event like for 4 days. Like we thought more about like doing a platform for people, like coming together, skating, being creative together. So many of us know each other from social media, and we were just so excited to get to know each other in person. And it was a really, really nice feeling because like also like we had so much support. Yeah.
It turned out very well. I was there. I was at the first return, and I can say it was good. Yeah.
Nice, thank you. But actually, yeah, it was really like just 7 people. Like 2 of them are here. Like 1 of them is sitting there. Lana and Jonathan is either here or running around and organizing the trade show here. And like others were still in Berlin. And it was just a feeling of like we have such, I don't know whoever was in Berlin before. We have like such a dope place, which is the Tempelhofer Feld. It's this like for the politicians, it's a wasteland, and for us, it's like a place of so many possibilities because it's like where everybody can come together. We create our own thing, we skate there, and so we thought this is nice. Like everybody should come here and skate with us, and that was the initial idea of Return, to go and like we learned a lot from other blading events which happened there, like Abriss. Jonas, and also Alklat, Hamburg. So yeah, this was like how we happened to be. I have so many more things to say, but I think
I
I'm
hear
just
you're
stopping
very
here.
excited about the first one, and it turned out well, and you want to organize already the second one, right?
Yeah, right now there.
Yeah, right now on the spot. Dominic, can you share what's your position behind the B-roll and?
Hello, can you hear me? I don't know. Is this loud enough? Oh, there we go. Yeah, hi, I'm Dominic. I've been skating since 2006, so quite a long time now. Been living in Copenhagen for the last 7.5 years, and I'm here as a representative or organizer, one of the organizers behind B-roll, which is an event that was started, well, it's happened 2 times now, so started 2 years ago in Copenhagen. There's a big scene in Copenhagen, and there had previously been other events like Blade Days that some of you might have heard of, and we chose to create B-roll out of a desire to make our own take on an event and to potentially carry on a history of skate events in Copenhagen for the scene that's still very healthy.
For the scene and for the community, yeah?
Yeah.
Like the community vibe.
Yeah.
Okay, I see that we have a very diverse events here, meaning the scale of the event, the history of the event, the organizer teams are. Yeah, that's my next question. Like to be clear, how big is your team? Who's organizing the event? Like to maybe have a picture.
I mean, Hurricane, it's a pretty big company. We have like more than 80 people working at the HQ in the south of France. There is also another part of the company in China, which actually 10-15 people. So yeah, it's a big company. The company is also building park, doing some print for the event, planning event. There is a digital services also. So it's a different scale of all other events. So we are all like have our own job to do for all this event. Yeah, so there is a lot of people, but yeah.
Okay, for Inline League, my company is a Skatepark Creation. They run the event, but we don't have a big team because we are not like FISE, like big event. We're not that big lah, the Inline League, but we have like maybe like more than less than 20 people to run the event. And me myself building a skate park. We have a mobile skate park for Inline League. So I myself building a skate park. And then we have an association, the community and the association that helped me run the website, the Instagram, social media, and then some technical team. Yeah.
Shall we keep that? Okay, then yeah, I already said like we're 7 head organizers, but there's so many more people involved in what we are doing. Like we have so many volunteers actually coming out and like doing amazing things. And actually this year it will be even more volunteers. But since it's all non-profit, like we're just doing it on the go, like as much as we can. So yeah, I think that's for the team right now, but like it's a team made out of like the wizard skaters in Berlin who just thought like that should happen, and it happened.
So the B-roll organizing team behind this that kind of plan the event is a little bit broken up into some groups. So we have like roughly 10 people behind organizing it, but then we have also the building crew, and they are a group of maybe 5 or 6, and they actually don't partake usually in the organizing meetings, but they just agree in the beginning that we consult with them when we're in the idea stage for building obstacles and stuff, to make sure that we get the all clear for if these obstacles are going to be technically possible. And then from that point on, we kind of just run the organizing team within, you know, our little group, and then at the end we join those teams together, and other people from outside of the main sort of 10 people come in, friends come in to help, kind of on a I mean, it's also all voluntary basis. We do have some things we pay people for certain roles in the event, but we're also like we're not signed up as a non-profit, but I'd say we're just trying to make it go round. So yeah.
Okay. Different events, different scales, different teams again. So I believe you also face different challenges when organizing the event. Can you share like which are the 3 most important things you should do when starting to organize an event? Ed, can you share? Because I think the difference between others is that you work very closely with the federation, with the association. Also, you have a governmental support, right? So yeah, maybe you can share how it is in Malaysia.
Okay, for my event, Inline League, actually the event is funded by government. The government help us. That's why we provide some for the international participant. We are providing the residency, the apartment, the accommodation for them to stay.
So money is not a problem, right?
Not that. We still need to find a sponsor to cover some logistic. But yeah, we still the government is supporting us. So this year event for Inline League, we try to make it bigger because SEA Games going to be happen in Malaysia 2027. So the government already gave a word. They wanted to push us. They said it's a go. So Inline going to be on a SEA Games if everything going well.
Sorry, can you explain me what is SEA Game?
SEA Games is
so
like
familiar.
It's like a sport that affiliated by Olympic Council. It's like an Olympic, but it's a Asian. Yeah, it's an Southeast Asian.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the way to Olympics, kinda.
If we can go to SEA Games, it's not possible that we're gonna be to the Olympic. But first we need to prove our number. I know that World Skate gonna be in charge for it, but one of our association member is the Asian chairman for World Skate Asia, so that we are working out to bring Inline to the Olympic. I know that some of that's why this year Inline League we try to sanction with World Skate. Why we want to sanction with World Skate is because last year event in Thailand, there's some issue when they try to put inline on the Asian game, but inline have not enough quota, not enough participant. Only 3 countries. So I have to call like every country, like our friend from Myanmar, from Philippines, like tell them to contact with the association so that the association can register their name to the Olympic Council, and then we have enough number to be in the Asian game.
Yeah,
That's why this inline league, we try to sanction with World Skate to show the number to our government that we are here. Like we have people in Philippines, in Myanmar, in Indonesia, in Thailand, so that we can be on a SEA Game.
So about the challenges. Well, Dominic, can you share like 3 biggest challenges which come up when you start to organize the B-roll? Is it the time? Is it money? Is it something else? I don't know.
I don't have any thought formed on that, so you're going to have to bear with me as I try to figure this out in real time. I guess some of the challenges in the early stages is in the meetings, actually coming to agree upon the concept we're going to run with, because B-roll is still new, and it's like, 2 years is not that long to be running an event. I know you're also early in the stage of your event, but you can also get a lot more than you expect from just one event or 2 events. Like there's a lot of data in that experience if you pay attention to certain things.
And a lot of place to improve, like
exactly,
exceed your expectations.
Yeah, and maybe some places you should actually not try so hard and try to leave space for things to be organic and to catch wind in rather than trying to force a certain linear progression of an event. So maybe some of the obstacles we run into early doors is kind of we always do an evaluation of so far we've done an evaluation after an event that happens like hopefully within the month or even 2 weeks after the event, just so it's fresh. We have a meeting, we talk about, hey, what was this event? What was the good things about this event? What didn't work so well? We then have that, and then we wait some time, and when we're planning the next event, we take that into consideration. And that process you can run into some obstacles because, maybe one person thinks that having super crazy obstacles is important, whereas maybe someone else thinks that the music is really important, and
or
like
the big prize money, or the
the prize money,
very strict rules for the competition.
Yeah, or maybe someone thinks that gender representation is important, or maybe someone there's a lot of factors to be taken into account when you're creating an event, because an event is not a private experience between you and your friends. It's a shared experience that happens in a public space, usually, often. Maybe not if you have some of these other events. They're sometimes maybe a little more, you have to buy a ticket to enter them, or...
Okay, it brings me to the next question, like, who are we making the events for, actually? How do we decide, like, this is going to be event for multidisciplinary sportists, like all included, like in FISE, or this is going to be a small local event like Return Berlin for wizard skaters mostly?
I think that depends on the kind of event you're making, because something like the SEA Games, for example, to me, some of these events that they're kind of like, I think, like, for example, if we thought that we were going to go to the Olympics or try to go to the Olympics, then there has to be some events that serve as a facilitator of that. And B-roll is not going to be able to facilitate you going to the Olympics. That's not the event we've made. we're not going to be able to show the Olympic Committee B-roll and say, can we be in your committee or something?
Because I've heard there's no competition, right? It's just like a big session. Am I right?
Yeah, in some way, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess people always get competitive, but there's not like...
there's no judging criteria.
There's a judging criteria, but it's just maybe not like... It's not the same as like, it's not something that we couldn't say to use, we don't use the same judging criteria as FISE, and we wouldn't expect FISE to use our judging criteria, for example. But yeah, I think that the audience, you want to make an event for the people who attend, but then you're like, the question is who's attending, and that brings up huge questions, like how do you change who attends to your event? Hopefully you make your event for yourself if you're a DIY event. I don't want to make an event that I'm not enjoying. I'd rather polish my shoes.
I mean, that's the first thing is like, who do you want your event? It's like you say, like if you want certain people of your event, you are going to do the event in that way. So that's what you are doing. It's FISE, I mean, it's a different scale, so it's more like about all the different sports, the public, it's showing to the big public all the action sport and trying to, I will say, advertise all the action sports, to make it grow. I mean, we saw the BMX going to the Olympic, we saw the skateboard going to the Olympic. I'm not saying that everything needs to be in the Olympic, but that's the main goal, to push all the action sports at FISE, precisely. So BMX, scootering, rollerblading, skateboarding, and breaking. So that's the 5 that we try to push as much as possible. And yeah, it's like, who do you want to your event? The riders, who do you want as a public? Because you can have a certain type of rider, but you can also have a different type of public because you want that public to come and see something different that they are used to see. So that's the first thing. For me, was one of the first things also.
Sometimes, sorry, do I have it? No. Is it on? Yeah. Sometimes I think it just needs a leap of faith. Like in the beginning, it needs a leap of faith. Like especially when it comes like to the DIY things, we sat there in January last year, and we were just like, okay, we will post that now. We will post that we are holding an event. We didn't know how we will do it. We didn't know like what's going on. And then like we had immediately like so much interest in it. And I think like 170 people registered last year with us. And there were so many more like in Berlin who just like joined. So it was a big celebration of everyone and like all skills. That was the nicest thing. Like it also communicated to skaters who were just like starting out. And communicated to skaters who were 20 years in aggressive and now they started to do some wizard style skating. So yeah, that was something I think like where we couldn't say like who will be coming, like come, like if you're interested in that, come and you will be welcomed with us.
How did you reach the audience? Okay, you reached the skaters, but were there any additional audience, like people who just passed by and stopped by in the city?
That was actually, especially on the last day, like when you have so many people skating in one spot, like people will stop and watch, like that's for sure. And this is what happened. So people were really interested. You had this, like when you think about like skating and community and like communication with each other, like that you can communicate, like when I see somebody like wearing something specific, might be a skater, like you get into talking with that person. And I feel like this kind of like, hey, like everybody can talk to everybody also stimulates people who will pass by. And then maybe the next day or the next week or the next year, you will see them on skates, coming, maybe joining your event and so on. So I feel like it's so sad for people. I feel like sometimes who are not like cannot experience this blading world, because like for me as somebody just doing it for 4 years, I found a new community, I found a new life, I found a new grew, whatever, like wherever I go, and that's amazing.
It's infectious.
I'm getting the image of like, you know, when the Hare Krishnas go through a city center and they're just like banging the drum and they're just like, you can join if you want to, but we're still gonna just like be doing it anyway, rather than like the Jehovah's Witness approach of like knocking at the door and being like, we've written a Bible, would you, or you know, would you, sorry to any, I don't mean to make this about religion, but it's maybe a metaphor.
It's really nice metaphor. So I hear that there are no challenges in making skate events. Maybe there could. Yeah, I asked you a question like, are there any challenges? You were all like, well, we just do it. We figure out. We. Yep. So what is the first thing you have to do? Pick a date. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And what if it's overlapping with other blade event?
That's sometimes that can happen, but I mean, to say something like someone always say, like it's the day when we're gonna have like multiple blading events in the same weekend. That means we are going to, you know, be a big community. So it's a problem, it's an issue, but more and more events mean more and more people riding, skating, attending. So I don't think it's a bad thing, but for sure, we can all share through social media or media, whatever, like as soon as possible, everyone organizer pick a date, you know, to share it. So everyone like want to do like another event, you know, they kind of know as soon as possible, not the date to pick.
Yeah, book the flights and
yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. First thing is pick the date. And I mean, even a session, you do a poster for a session with your friends, that can be an event, you know, so.
And the second thing you need to do, gather a team, make a meeting, find funding.
Funding, sponsors?
I think.
How do you do that?
For me, for Malaysian, the hardest thing is the participant, you know, like we have a target, like every time government funded us, so we need to like, to have like at least 200 participants to 300. But for these 2-3 years, I've been doing the Inline League. So last year we get like 250 participants, and before that, it was 150. So, you know, it's
Improving.
So it's good for the government. So that's why this year government wanted to do bigger. Before the Inline League event this year, we're gonna do collaboration with Blading Camp to do a clinic in 5 schools. So we're gonna call maybe like Josh will send like 2 or 3 coach from Blading Camp to send to Malaysia to stay for like 1 month. We're gonna do like clinic from school to school to school.
That's what Mary Munoz already did, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was following her on Instagram and saw her ending up in Malaysia with the blading camp. It's amazing. I love to see those collaborations from like overseas. Blading Cup coming to FISE, right? I've heard some rumors. Can you tell us more about this?
Can I just say one more thing before you do that?
Of course.
Of course.
No, it's just because on challenges, I think that one of the things you can run into as well, just on the specifically the course, is that if you have like a non-conventional structure of your event, like if you're trying to do an event in a way that's not just based on, some of the conventional standards that have generated events in the past, and I think it's important for those to exist, so I'm not judging conventional events, it's just that I think there has to also be space for an alternative. And I think when you're doing that, some of the challenges you can run into is, like, if we do it this way, will people even want to skate? If we do it this way, are people going to even feel like they're at an event? Or is it just a session? And maybe the lines get a bit blurrier. And it's also obstacle-wise, you can be like, if we build this, is someone going to skate it? Which I think a lot of events have that thought, you're like...
I mean, we all start by skating some weird curve, whatever, so it doesn't matter the size of the scales of what you're doing,
Yeah,
it's
even
still
Winterclash has the same concern when building up the park. if it's skatable or not. But turns out good. So where we left, Blading Cup.
Blading Cup, yeah. I mean, amazing event that John is running. And last year at FISE Montpellier, we had this opportunity to kind of create this new course, this new area, which is less conventional than all the other one. It ran pretty well. We do some cash for tricks, the rail contest, so less conventional, less run, like both run, count, whatever. So, and it felt like, there can be something that we can, partner with different other events or partners, whatever. We can also do that with skateboarding. It's already in our mind, and BMX or whatever. But of course, ice skate. So the first that came to my mind was Blading Cup. Kind of had this in my mind just before the announcing of the one in Malaysia. But so I was like, okay, so even the Blading Cup is growing. It's the right moment to maybe do something in Europe. At FISE Montpellier, we have this amazing platform. I attend personally the Blading Cup only once in California, and I have a pretty busy schedule, not to whatever, but so sometimes, if you cannot go somewhere, just bring it to you. So that was a bit personally at first. And to give also another perspective of skaters at FISE, giving something different for the public, and showing the big picture of blading. That was the main idea behind that. And I reached to John and we start working on it, and it's happening. Pretty excited and happy about that.
It's great to hear. Well, I have a feeling that we need all kinds of blade events in our life, right? The small, the big, the classic, the alternative ones. So it makes me ask probably the last question to round up. What goal we have, and what do we have in common? Like when we organize blade events, what's the goal? What's like the main goal? Why do we do that?
I think it's to gather people together. That's the main thing. We all have our different group in our city, whatever, but it's doing something a bit bigger. Like everyone say, it can start really small with a session, can become, the next year's an event, which is probably not calling like that at first, but that's what we create, I think, to be all together. So that's the main factor for me.
Juliane?
Yeah, if I may, I think, yes, bringing people together, let them explore their creativity, and or let them get inspired by other people's creativity, for sure. For us, I think, when we're doing this wizard-style skating thing, which is still pretty new, for exploring, there's no vocabulary yet. There is some basics. I mean, there is a brand which is called Wizard Skating, and a lot of the base moves, for example, are coming from, when you go on their website, you can see some base moves, and now people are exploring from that base moves, what they can do. So I feel also to keep on developing together, creating, keep this culture going, because I think we got a big injection in the last couple of years for blading again. And now so many more people are interested in coming together, and as I said, on all levels. Personally, I also think what I really like to get more representation in, that's for me counts for everywhere and every time, to have different people representing, female representation, and this was what made us very happy, for example, in Return last year, that there were relatively many women skating too, and shaping what's going to be wizard skating. So I think that's...
I think it's because it looks really aesthetic, the wizard skating. That's why they have more women than...
I don't know, if you ask different people, you would get different answers, especially... No. Wizard skating can be very dangerous too. But I don't know. I think like it's like some would say it's like figure skating. Some would say it's like skiing. Some would say like it has many aggressive elements. It has many slalom elements even. So like wherever you're coming from, or if you're not coming from anywhere, like you can try and figure out your own style in it. And this makes it so interesting and attractive to watch people like just doing new things and exploring new things constantly. Yeah.
Yep. So the main goal is to infect as many people as possible with rollerblading, right?
The
Am I
virus.
Right? Virus. Well, we are soon coming to the question and answer part. We will.
I just wanted to add something, maybe if there's
Yeah,
time.
please do.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely bring people together. I think it can be cool also to see maybe I think it's good to get off our phones and experience a skate world that's still physical, still, give your community and give your passion, give skating a sense of realness and give yourself a sense of agency in skating. Because there is a lot of aspects in the skating that feel a bit fucked or a little bit, like you're a little bit like, what the fuck do I do with this? How do I, excuse my language, but, it's just, it can get very frustrating. And I think creating an event can allow you to, together with your friends, if it's a DIY type event, it can help you to claim that feeling of the vision of skating you want to see and like be the change you want to see in the world, but with events. And I think that can be a goal to do that. And I think it can be nice as a goal to try to see some of the people that you see in edits and stuff skate in person and see them challenged by the obstacles that you've created and be like, I'd like to see you skate this. How are you gonna figure that one out? It's kind of
anyone who has seen the B-roll obstacles.
It's a little mean, but in a nice way. It's like,
yeah, I can agree. Okay, I think we have. Do you want to add something? The last
my goal is for rollerblading is to see at least rollerblade is in the Olympic, and the next 2 years I hope Inline gonna be on the SEA Games. And why I want to see an Olympic, I know that some of the community told me that it's okay, it's cool to be in a community, but for me it's not. I've been in the X game, I've been in not the LEX game, but HAX game, and I have 3 kids. All my kids is playing rollerblading, and I've been investing to them to go Jakarta, to go Thailand, to go Korea, and now it's first time to go Europe. So every time people tell me that it's cool to be in the community, but for me, no. I've been investing to them for what? And then I've been doing a lot of clinic, a lot of coaching in Malaysia. The parents keep asking me, if my son playing rollerblade, what is the next future? What are they going to do? Because they know the skateboarding is going to Olympic. They every time, stop blading and go skateboarding. Yeah, so that's why I'm keep pushing. I know it's going to be hard to be on the Olympic, but I'm doing my best, to bring rollerblade to Olympic. Yeah. But I'm sure before I came here, we meet the Ministry Office in Malaysia, Ministry Office of Sport in Malaysia, and then the minister said, we're going to be on a SEA Game for 2027. They said, you just said on the Winterclash, we are good to go, and I will push on the news in Malaysia. So I hope Inline going to be on a SEA Game for 2027.
I'm sure. I'm sure it's going to happen.
I want that.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. But I can see your point, definitely, because really parents always, when they bring kids to the skate school, they're like, hey, what's the future? Where do we go with this? I'm saying, Winterclash, maybe in some years, and then what's next? Okay. Audience, do you have any questions? There's Asya. How do we do with the mic? That one. Yeah. And
Hello? Yeah. Probably it's not. Okay, I have two questions actually. The first of all is how do you create a team? How do you work with the team? Are there specific rules with whom you work to create the event? And the second question is, what do you expect from the blading industry as a support for your events?
For me to create a team is from the experience. So I've been doing a small event in Malaysia with our association for like more than 15 years. So it's based on the experience, because our first Inline League 2023, the international Inline League, a lot of problem. But after that, we find a good team to manage. And the second one is what? Expectations of the rollerblading industry. Expectation.
What do you expect to receive for making?
Oh, okay. From the rollerblading. I really need the rollerblading media to help us promote the event, and maybe for sponsor, we don't ask for money. Maybe like a rollerblade team, just send the team to Malaysia, we provide the room. Or maybe Rossi's just send the team, we provide the room. So we just want the pro to be in Malaysia so that the Asian community is coming to Malaysia to see, and we grow. You know, I know that people just want to meet the pro because in Asia, we not so many international event in Asia. So if you can send pro to Malaysia, then I think it's going to be, you know, yeah.
Can I go? For me, the first thing is the passion, what do you call it? Yeah, the passion of what you do. I have an amazing team, sport-wise, like 2 or 3 guys that do scootering, you know, 1 guy that doing skating also. We have people BMX, skateboarding, and they're all passionate about it, you know, and it's really great to have a team that can cross this passion for riding, you know, if we have this big word. First thing, when you do like an event like non-profit, whatever, it's like you're not gonna count your hours or whatever, you know, so the passion is something that's the first thing, the fire that you have in you. Then after, of course, there is all the skills. Some people have more skills or whatever, but doesn't matter at the end. Like all the volunteers, some have skills, some don't. Depend on what you need, but they have this really passionate, you know, fire inside them that they want to do something, and they're gonna try to do it more and more and more without counting the hours. So for me, that's the first thing, you know.
I think like one important thing for us is like to trust each other. I think that's a very like hard thing sometimes, because you're coming together out of different, like you work something different, like you come and like you want to create something, and so like one person can do this, the other person can do this, and like just trust the process, because there might be fuck ups together, and like you will go through it together. Like maybe things won't be perfect. It turned out pretty nicely for us last year, but like why to be like not be afraid of failure. I mean, like when we go out and skate, we fuck up, like we fall, we stand up, broken arm, that's not so good, so then we rest a little bit, get back in the game.
Fix the fuck up and
exactly.
we move on.
Yeah.
And I think what you said, that trust is very important, and when you have trust, you feel safe, and the safer and you can flourish in safer environment, no matter what. If you do fuck ups, if you fix them, and so on. And that actually is my last little question. I want to finish this conversation, this discussion. We are very serious the whole time and talking about important topics, but I really want to hear like a one fuck up from each of you, which you have done during the event organization. I'm sure you all have one nice, memorable thing. Please share, because we're all humans. And this will encourage others, I think. Yeah, let's think about it. Okay, let's go with the big fuck up.
That's your question. You need the big fucked up?
Well,
Thing or just
no, like a. Yeah, what did you wrong? What did you do wrong? Maybe others can learn from it. I'm sure you have a big experience in organizing events. You have little experience, but still you probably did the fuck up.
Okay, my biggest mistake was Inline League 2023, which is I don't apply some permit for the event, but it is international event. We're supposed to apply, and then we end up someone reporting the event. You know, like I didn't get my payment for like 6 months. You know, and so many things. I get the report and everything. Yeah, there's some toxic people in the team. You know, doing that. So for the advice, please make sure everything is on the documentation so that no one can fuck up you. Okay.
You're still alive.
Yeah, but I'm still.
I think we fucked up in some areas. Sometimes we like maybe tried to do it too officially, and then that meant that we, I don't know, there's some moments where I think if you're a DIY event, you should break the law a little bit. I think it's good to break the law sometimes. Sometimes laws are wrong, not the people breaking them.
Yeah, I think we broke the law last year in return when we started. We were going and we were starting with a full moon ride. And we didn't quite see that the police was following us all the time because we didn't have the permit too. We thought like we were just so convincing being out there on the street. I think like people were dancing in front of the car, which was actually the police. So we were taken hostage for an hour, the whole group. We didn't know if we could go on or not. They were telling us like we could come with you guys, and we were like, no, we rather not. And so, but we could leave actually. But this would have been something to check, like if you're going out on the streets. Like we figured out recently, if you are saying it's a demonstration for more blading in or more sports in the country, then like you could pass without any problem. So demonstrate for blading.
I think you actually blading. I think rollerblading could actually learn from getting a lot more creative. Like, look at the way people like people who, like political activists organize themselves. Like, you know, you need to read some books or go online or something. There's people like tying themselves to lamp. You know, people do all sorts of creative stuff. And I don't. Obviously, I'm not representing like. I'm representing a kind of one angle of how to do it, but I do really believe in the sort of like rebellious but kind skate event, you know? Like, we're not trying to hurt anyone, but, you know, also like, you gotta do what you gotta do. If that's your culture, and it needs to be, you
spread around.
I don't know, yeah, because things like the Olympics, then we have to do it by their terms, and that's a whole different process. And when you have to do it by their terms, that's a longer journey. That's like trying to win a court case. You know, you have to get a good lawyer. Gotta, you know, sometimes get disappointed and keep going and fall down and get back up. But other times, you're just like, we're storming the doors of that Olympic building. We're drawing massive half-pipe drawings on the wall. And we're just like, running out just because, you know, that's the energy.
Yeah, talking about the rules and energy, the Super Bowl, like the Hang Losers Bowl, sorry, is coming up soon, so we really need to finish. Maybe. Huh?
Hi, sorry. Can I throw in a quick question?
Yes, sure.
I don't want to make the Hang Losers Bowl run late, but I've just come from the U.S., and the U.S. incredibly does not have a federation for inline. It has not. But just now people are starting to put one together. Through USA Roller Sports, the same organization that represents skateboarding in the Olympics, so there's a real avenue toward rollerblading perhaps getting into the Olympics. So I'll start with a comment, and then I'll get to a very specific question. The comment, because you guys have talked about, you know, what is the point of competitions? And I think that the main point you all have kind of touched on, but it is to grow the sport ultimately. And that can mean a lot of different things. For the skaters, the competitors, it's just sort of a way of validating what they do every day. It's a way to do it publicly, to be with other skaters, as you've mentioned. But for the sport as a whole, it's a way to grow it through exposure. And there's no better exposure than television. I mean, we have live streams, which is great. Our media coverage, our videos and our magazines and all those things, that's all good, and social. But things like the X Games and the Olympics, which you guys have mentioned, there is nothing comparable in terms of growing the sport, bringing viewers, bringing athletes, and bringing money into the sport. So if that is a possibility, and you mentioned it's like, once you're in the Olympics, it's kind of someone else's rules. Well, that's not exactly true. We get to make the rules. We get to sort of, to a degree, obviously. So my specific question is, for a long time, we've kind of had ASA-style competition formats, you know, 2 runs, 45 seconds to a minute and a half, something like that, which is not the most flattering or best format for competition skating. There are a lot of different competitions out there that have a lot of different style formats. I know I did hoedown for a long time, which was very unconventional, and there's a space for that. But if you're going to put it on TV, there has to be some structure. So what I'm wondering is, have you guys given thought, or what do you think is going to be like kind of the best way, right, to come up with a TV-friendly format to showcase rollerblading? And skateboarding, I think, already has come up with a lot of innovative ideas, sort of blending the runs with best trick kind of format. So just wonder if anyone had any thoughts on that.
I think that recently I've been thinking about how you can get into showing blading, but like subverting the kind of sports avenue. And like, what about becoming pitching a show to a network that is a documentary, you know, or pitching, some sort of reality TV show that's like blading related. Like, there's other ways to get on TV, if that's the avenue, if that's the media of choice. There's other ways to get on TV. And of course, sports has a lot of money in it. And if we can get into that area, there's a lot of sponsors that are ready to jump on top of that, hopefully. But I don't know, I just often think more in like how could we get into like films and, make a TV series where like it's a blader who murders some like librarian or something like that.
Thank you for the question. Anyone else? Or are we wrapping up this discussion or continuing it somewhere else at the bar? Okay. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Thank you.
Yep. Let's go over there.
Make an event. Just do one. It's better.